home in South Carolina, and she's going to be cooking. I'm really excited about this. She's going to be cooking a 3-course meal today, made easy. I know some of you are at home watching, and you are welcome to cook along with her. Those of you who pre-registered online from being at home received a package from me that has some specialty ingredients and her cookbook. So hopefully that will help you along. And then if you're here in the auditorium, you received that today as well. So if you want to cook Carol's recipes on your own, that'll give you a little bit of a head start with some of these specialty ingredients that you may not be able to find in Publix. So she is going to be teaching today a 3-course meal. The theme of this meal is called Fall into Citrus. So you'll see a lot of delicious citrus notes throughout. She's going to be making a salad and chicken and a Panna Cotta dessert. She'll tell you all about it. If you are cooking along, I know that the pace of the class moves along pretty quickly, so hopefully you will be able to keep up, but please ask questions if you need to, and enjoy watching Carol. We are watching a true master at work here. Enjoy.
Okay, just look at the camera and see if she's ready for me. I should give you a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Ready? Okay. Well, good afternoon, John Knox Village, all the way from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Oh, I really wish I could be there with you guys in person, but you know, I can't this year. So I'm going to try really hard to bring the love over the airwaves to you and show you my passion for cooking, and hopefully I inspire you to make this amazing, amazing meal today, Fall into Citrus, which is an ode to Florida. And today I have my friend Cindy with us from Scout and Cellar. We've done some wine pairings, and we've got a very, very exciting wine cocktail to show you. So let's get started. And I've given you a little timeline for this menu. If you're cooking along with me, you should manage if you've done some of your preparation ahead of time, because we're going to be moving at a fair pace, because you know it's 3 courses. So if you're going to be doing this for a dinner party, what I really, really would suggest that you do is do your dessert first, right? I mean, who doesn't want dessert first anyway? I mean, make your dessert first, not eat it first. So the first thing that we're going to start with is our blood orange Panna Cotta. And if you weren't able to find blood oranges, that's okay. You can use tangerines, you could use cara oranges. In fact, cara oranges are the closest thing to blood oranges. So this is what they look like. They've got this very, very interesting skin, which is kind of a little bit sort of red like that. And you know, when you cut them open, it's really a surprise because they're all a little bit different. Let me bring my cutting board over here. Move this out the way. Okay, so they're all a little bit different. When you cut them open, some of them are dark jewel red, and some of them almost look like a regular orange. So what are we going to get here? Well, it's kind of medium. This one's kind of medium. But when you squeeze the juice, it's got this really, really beautiful red color to it. And the taste is really unusual. It's a lot more tangy. It's, you know, it might even, to some people, taste a little bit bitter, but I really like it. It gives you like a really, really unusual flavor. So a Panna Cotta is an Italian dessert, and it really is just like a creamy, yogurty custard with a jelly layer is what it is. So it's a fancy name for a dessert that you might know, that you might know already. So what you're going to do to get started is you're going to take your blood orange juice, a cup of your blood orange juice with some of the zest of the rind of the blood orange, and put it in a little pot. And then the recipe is for a ½ cup of sugar. Now I talked to you guys on Monday about how you can reduce the sugars in your recipes. And my 2 favorite sweeteners are stevia. This is the liquid stevia. And my new favorite actually is the monk fruit, which is the fruit that comes from Asia. And it's very, very, very powerful. So if you're substituting a 1/4 cup, you're going to take literally like 1/8 of a teaspoon and put that in. If you look at the links that I sent you to my blog post, in that blog post, there are links to this company, Smart Monk, where you can order this product, because it's quite difficult to find monk fruit that's just monk fruit. Remember how I told you about how you can sometimes find ingredients and there's other ingredients like a resveratrol hidden in there? So this one is just monk fruit. And then we're going to put in our gelatin. Now, you want your gelatin to bloom. Okay, this is a bovine gelatin that I use, but you know, any gelatin will work. Gelatin leaves will work as well. So what that means is you're going to sprinkle over the gelatin and leave it alone for about 5 or 10 minutes. And what's going to happen is that it's going to slowly dissolve and bloom. And then at that point, you're just going to heat it through. Just get it heated through. Now, because of timing, you know, because you have to wait about 15 minutes for it to cool down, I went ahead and made a batch for you already. So my batch is actually already beginning to set up a little bit too much. So then you can put in your yogurt, and this is full-fat Greek yogurt because it just tastes so much better. We don't like that low-fat stuff in our desserts, really. Okay, and you're going to mix it up. I think my bowl's a little too small, isn't it? There we go. It's mixing up beautifully. Gorgeous. There we go. Look at that. Until it's nice and smooth. Just whisk it up. Perfect. And you know, a panna cotta, this is just a basic recipe. You could use your imagination. You could use any fruit or any juice. You could use blueberries. You could do it with strawberries. Pears are actually lovely. A pear panna cotta is really, 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 really yummy. Okay. So we're going to get that out of the way. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to spoon it into a glass. Now, you can use any glass that you like, but I really like to use martini glasses. This is such a great dessert, and it's so light and yummy and refreshing. It's really a beautiful ending to a meal, the panna cotta. So you guys, if you've got questions, I can stop it, you know, between the courses and answer questions. So just let Gail know if you've got questions. Gail can chime in, and I can stop and answer questions, okay? So then that's going to go in the fridge, and, you know, it'll take about 2 hours to set up, depending on what the size of your bowl is. And then the next component that you're going to make is your juice, okay? So I went ahead and also cooked this ahead of time because it's got to cool down completely before you can actually do something with it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the rest of your orange juice and put it back into the pot with your sugars and a little bit of the rind, and then you've got your juniper berries, which are totally optional, but if you want to use your juniper berries, it's just a wonderful, surprising taste to them. So you're just going to take your juniper berries and crush it a little bit, okay, and then put it in the pot, all right, and then let it boil down a little bit. And then it's really important to let your sauce get completely cold before you use it, because it just won't be very delicious otherwise. So here we've got one that I made earlier by the magic of Zoom. And I've got some of the sauce that's already been cooled down. And just take a spoon and just carefully float over the top like this. Carefully float over the top. Isn't that looking gorgeous? Yes, this is very delicious. And then you're going to pop this back in the fridge, or you could enjoy it just like this and just have it as a sauce, like with your, you know, the yogurty part that's set underneath, and then you have a delicious sauce, and as you eat it, the sauce kind of goes down. It's just, oh, wonderful, delicious. I really wish you guys were here. And the juniper berries, you know, that's what is used to make gin. It just gives it a really interesting dimension to flavor, but don't worry if you can't find them. Just with the juice is absolutely delicious. So I'm going to pop these two in the fridge so they can hang out and we can enjoy them at the end of this. Okay. Down to your there. All right. Might want to unplug. So guess what? With a good meal, you need to have good wine, right? If you were in the presentation on Monday, we talked about toxic-free wine, but if you weren't, I'm just going to tell you a little bit. I really love wine with my meal, but I realized that I could have a glass of wine and that sometimes I'd be okay, and other times the wine would just give me an instant headache. And then I met Cindy from Scout and Cellar, and she introduced me and told me about wine and what is in some of your wine. And I was absolutely horrified. So she's been kind enough to join us today. She'll tell you all about what is different about our wine, the toxic-free wine. And she is going to make you a delicious cocktail with a product which is totally unique to Scout and Cellar. You won't find this anywhere else, and it is absolutely wonderful. So Ellie is doing the filming. Say thank you, Ellie. She's going to walk over to Cindy while I get your next one ready.
Hey everybody, nice to meet you via Zoom. I remember Zoom like Zoom. I'm here from Scout and Cellar Clean Crafted Wine. We are going to make a beautiful cocktail called Citrus Bliss. And it is actually going to be created with a few different things. But one special thing about Scout and Cellar, we're 100% clean crafted. As we were talking about toxin-free wine, all of our products are created with zero added sugar, chemicals, synthetic pesticides. There's no dyes. All of our vineyards are free of glyphosate, which is Roundup that they frequently spray on all kinds of grapes. But the product that we're going to use for this special cocktail is actually a distilled wine, and it's a higher alcohol content than wine, but it is a mixable. So it's created from wine, but specifically made to, this one's to mimic vodka, which is called Wilderness Road. And then we have another one right here that actually takes the place of a gin. So the alcohol content in these are about 20% versus maybe other higher alcohol contents that you might find in mixers, or a regular gin or regular vodka you might use. So without further ado, we're going to make this special drink that Carol has created. So it's pretty simple. There's only a few ingredients that you need to have on hand. The first one is a simple syrup. So you're going to take about an ounce of simple syrup, whoop, and you just pop it in your glass. It's about an ounce. Then we're going to take some fresh basil, a couple of leaves of that. Woo, and I'm going to break them up and put them in with the simple syrup. I kind of like a lot of flavor in my drinks, but you can, of course, decide how much you like or how little you'd like. And then we're going to crush them to bring out the special flavor, the aroma, or muddle it, as Carol says. It's a new word for me. So we're bringing out all the beautiful oils and the flavors within the fresh basil. I'll do that for another second, really get it, the flavors kind of mixing in there. Then you're going to take probably about another ounce and a half of some orange juice, and you can pop that in there. I'm going to say that's about an ounce and a half. And then we have some just sparkling water. This one has kind of an orange flavor to it because we're using orange juice. And the same thing, put it, maybe ounce and a half, maybe a little bit more. And then we are going to put in the Wilderness Road. So this can have a little heavier hand. It's been a rough day. Or you can do about an ounce to an ounce and a half.